We're here now at Lahoma with Dr. Brett Carver, OSU's wheat geneticist and the leader of our wheat improvement team. Brett, it's always exciting to be out at Lahoma, and we're here now with some potential candidates. Tell us what that all means and kind of what you're looking at.
Right, so candidates means we're thinking about actually launching something, a commercial release for growers to grow and for the milling and baking industry to use.
So let's talk about a few of these varieties in particular. And obviously you're looking at yields, but you're looking at certain unique qualities that would be interesting. Get us up to speed.
Yeah. With wheat, we can look at a lot of different quality factors, but the one that stands out probably the most and is the most significant to our industry is the gluten quality. The better the gluten quality, the better we can make a loaf of bread, basically, in very simple terms. And these lines were bred for the purpose of maximizing the strength of the gluten. This is not done through GMO or anything. This is conventional wheat breeding, but it's utilizing genetics we've never utilized before in the hard red winter wheat class.
So let's talk about different qualities that you're looking at with some of these varieties and why they may make good candidates for release.
Yeah, so this one I'm standing by is the one that we're focused on immediately, and has a pretty long name to it with all those digits and numbers, but the 8-29 is the one that we often speak about in public. That's just my way of knowing, okay, that 8 means it's a Gallagher background. The 29 means, hey, it was just one of those lines that came out of that Gallagher family, and I have Gallagher actually behind me, so our viewers today and our tour participants will be able to see side by side what these look like. And they should look like twins, and they do. From a visual standpoint, you really can't tell the difference, but you can start to tell the difference when you thresh the grain, you mill it, and then you look at the dough. And the dough is just totally different.
So speaking of the dough, how does this translate, or what does this mean in terms of food labeling, and how does that all connect?
Yeah, with food production today, particularly bread production, we're doing it so much faster in our plants. I mean, it's just we're cranking out loaves of bread at over 100 loaves per minute when it used to be half that many 30 years ago, and that requires a certain level of dough strength, other characteristics as well, but a certain level of dough strength to allow the rigors of that process to carry out. We have pretty good dough strength already in varieties like Baker's Ann and Double Stop, but now we're talking about a different stratosphere of strength. This will be compared to Canadian or perhaps our hard red spring class of wheat in the northern United States in terms of its strength. We do not have at this level of strength in our hard red winter wheat class right now.
And that's what you're hoping this variety could achieve, and then maybe
That's
some of these
right.
other ones that are in the queue, if you will.
Yeah, and if we achieve that, then now this changes what goes on the label. One that you'll see often is gluten itself. Vital wheat gluten is being added to bolster the strength, to allow this processing to occur, or the speed of processing. We think we can do that naturally through our wheat varieties themselves. You'll also see other additives on the label, names that you might not recognize, but often you will see the words dough conditioner. And there may be 3 or 4 dough conditioners being added to the recipe or the formulation. This takes the place of some, if not all, those dough conditioners.
That is kind of revolutionary then, isn't it?
It is, and there's value to that. There's value to the baking industry, of course, but there's value to the farmer. Now the farmer can produce lots of bushels. There's value to that, of course, but what about the quality of those bushels? There's quality in those bushels that cannot be found in any other bushel of wheat, of hard red winter wheat. So I think it's exciting.
Very exciting. Let's
Yeah.
talk briefly about some of these other potential contenders down the road. What are you seeing here?
Just a quick view of them. These are follow-ups to the 8-29 that we want to see a continuous pipeline of genetic material coming out of this program. This is a quality-focused breeding program, or a part of our program. And so these will be perhaps, if everything works out, our release is 2 years from now. And then beyond that, we have material that's not even in this field. But there is one other line that we probably should mention. I mentioned the Gallagher derived line back here, the 8-29. We did use other backgrounds. It just so happened that Working with Gallagher not only gave us the agronomic strength, but it gave us the baking strength on top of what we're using for the certain gluten proteins we were targeting. We're introducing that Gallagher background. Now we have a different background that, well, I can't give you a name because there is no name for it. We never released it. I can just say that the genetics would be tied to experimental lines in our program. So it's still OSU material. It's still just, good Oklahoma genetics. But I think this one is a little bit different agronomically. It can go farther south than the Gallagher derivative. But also this one doesn't have quite the strength that the 8-29 has. It has a little bit more extensibility. So now it has more of the total package. The 8-29 might be used as an ingredient. This one could be used as a standalone. Big difference.
So this is a variety we're really keeping a close eye on.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, Brett, thanks a lot. And we'll continue our conversation with Dr. Carver on next week's show.